Okay, so here's the second part to that snack and a story with me again, and I'm going to be eating this chicken bake. So let's break the bread, and I shall now give you the story of what I call the horticultural horror, because it takes place in a garden shop, or like a whatever called a nursery or something, and it involves me when I'm very little. So sit back, relax, and just listen to the music, I suppose. Did I mention that the last time I ate one of these, I got really bad indigestion, and every time I'd burp, I'd taste chicken, and it just made me feel utterly miserable. But hoping that doesn't happen this time. Anyway, all the story. So, I want to say this occurred when I was either 7 or 8. And, Mother had needed some stuff from, for her garden and all that sort of thing, and made a drive to the nursery, which has a whole bunch of other, garden stuff. It doesn't just have plants, it has also, flower pots, garden decorations, fountains, all that sort of thing. And, she took me with her. And had said, if you get lost in this shop, I will not come and find you. You'll have to make your way back here. So, I sort of just tossed this rule aside and went about my own business, and what do you know? I got lost. Because she was in the area. There's an inside portion of it, which has a whole bunch of just like gardening tools and such. And there's an outside portion, which is a nursery and has a whole bunch of display stuff, like statues and fountains and everything. I went out of that, the inside, into that area, the outside, and basically without knowing. And just was mystified at all of the very strange variety of statues and such that were out there. It was almost like being in a type of lost world, almost. Because I was so small at the time, and there was even a little lake there with lilies, or water lilies and such, and frog statues, and this sort of thing. So what would seem like an angelic, idyllic, really, type of scene, with me sort of kind of like in a makeshift Garden of Eden. At 7, 8 years old, turned sour when I would assume that my mum was following me, into this area, but of course she wasn't. And then once I realized that, I got very, very uneasy and such, and tried to find my way out of there. It was, I swear, it was like that scene out of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs when she's lost in the forest and it all sort of comes alive and such and tries to eat her and all that type of thing. Whereas all these garden statues and such of imps and frogs and storks and such started to become all the more ominous, and even the plant life was like Little Shop of Horrors and such, just going out there singing some soul music or other. And I kept running all around this place, and it didn't seem to end. It was almost like a type of labyrinth, in a sense, except with no David Bowie. And no Creatures by Jim Henson. You know what I mean when I say labyrinth, not the movie, but like a maze. Almost that type of sort of thing. And, you know, I keep running and such away from these inert items and this languishing flora. Tears streaming down my face, and then finally I make my way back by the skin of my by the skin of my teeth or whatever, back to the inside area, and I'm just crying. I go up to the lady over at the register and ask if she's seen my mother, and you know, she goes ahead, contacts her and such. It's starting, the indigestion. And I'm sitting there crying and all that sort of thing. And then she comes, that is, to me, and evidently she was by the whole register area that whole time. So she played a sick trick on me and just had me experience all that horror for no reason, on the pretense that I disobeyed her. So to all you younglings or whatever, foundlings out there, do not wander away from your mother or father or guardian or whoever when they tell you not to. Because if you do, then you'll end up not having a very pleasurable experience. Anyway, that's it for this one. And I still have half of this left. I realize I make these things either shorter or longer than they need to be, and I end up not finishing my food up until after the video. So please forgive me, and that's all, folks.